going to grab our thumb and shove it in our gob to massage the masseter muscle, but from the inside. Oh, alright. Pause the video, go wash your hands, come back and do this with me. Let me introduce you to the TMJ. Temples, mandibular, which is your jaw, joints. TMJ, the hinge that opens and closes your mouth. Every one of us is going to have some sort of issue with our TMJ at some point in our lives. There are many reasons that will cause TMJ issues. I'm going to be coming from the perspective of being a massage practitioner. Obviously, this is a massage channel. I'm going to show you how to bring out some relief through the masseter muscle. The masseter muscle, I'd say, would be the most common cause of TMJ issues, but it's not just limited to the masseter muscle. Face massage doesn't need a lot of oil. If you haven't got melt oil, go get it. You don't have to though. I mean, obviously, I'd love it if you supported Melt and bought my oil, but you can use moisturizer. I mean, your face already has natural oils on it. A little bit of moisturizer might help if you have dry skin, but you'll pretty much find that, especially as your day progresses, that there'll be enough oil on the skin that you can just jump into massaging this. So the first technique that I want to show you is simple circular motions. If you clench your jaw, right, you'll feel the masseter muscle pushing out. You can even see it on my fingers. Wow, I probably sound like an idiot right now. That thing is huge, right? This is one of the strongest muscles in your body, and it needs to be because it wants to crunch down on food, right? There is 3 distinct locations that I want you to focus on when you're massaging the masseter muscle. There is the origin up here on your cheekbone, and you'll feel it like this muscle is very dense, super thick. Then there's the insertion point, which is here on your jawline, and then obviously the belly of the muscle. So circular motions can happen along the entire length of the muscle. You can use little tiny circles. I'm using all 3 fingers. I mean, if you've got baby hands, you can use all 4 fingers. Try use the pads of your fingers too. If you want to go deeper, use the tips of your fingers. Pads are a great place to start. Small circles, you can also use larger circles. Right, so larger circles, I'm following the front of the muscle. Oh, that's a bit tense. And then you can work along the jawline and go up the side of the muscle till you hit the cheekbone. Wow, you got a lot of mouth noises happening. Here's a little info for you that you pretty much didn't want to know. But, I mean, there might be 1 or 2 of you that might be interested to figure out what is the origin. How do we know the origin and insertion of a muscle? Pretty easy. The origin, or where a muscle begins, is at a fixed location. The insertion is what moves the actual bony structure. So all muscles will move something. That's its action, right? So in our case here, it's our jaw that opens up and down. Therefore, the insertion is at our jawline, at the mandible, right? The origin doesn't move. It stays, it's a fixed location. It's almost like the anchor of the muscle. And all muscles have this. Every muscle has an origin and insertion. There you go, a little bit of anatomy that you really didn't need to know. Stripping the muscle. We're following the direction of the fibers. So in this case, we know the muscle is going from origin up here to insertion down here, and we can just massage along the fibers. Here's the thing, when you're massaging with the fibers, going with the grain, it actually feels really nice. I mean, it can act as a deep tissue technique, but it's not as aggressive as going across the fibers, which we'll do in a moment. In the beginning, a good place to start is working down, following the fibers. You feel moments where you jump over the muscle. There'll be times where you like flick your own muscle. It's always best to start massaging yourself before massaging your partner so you can feel what causes pain and try to avoid that. I mean, I've talked about this in previous episodes. Try not to flick your partner's muscles. When you're working on yourself, especially if you want to get in deep, I mean, flick away. You're not going to hurt yourself you're not going to hurt yourself. It will be painful though. And that flick is a nice therapeutic release. It's good when you're working on yourself because you can gauge what kind of pain you want to tolerate. On your partner is a different story. Too much pain and they might just say, look, I give up. I don't want you to touch me ever again. We don't want that. Next up is cross fiber, where we're going across the length of the muscle. This is more aggressive. Using pads of our fingers will be a lighter and easier introduction to this massage technique. And then as you increase the aggression, you can move into the tips of your fingers. And all we're doing is going across the muscle fibers. Feels incredible. I mean, you'll find, like everyone's sore here. Right here at the insertion point feels incredible. Try that on yourself. Have a crack at that. Ooh. And then into the belly of the muscle, you can hold even. And then origin the muscle. Now, you just need to find your comfortable place. You can use your thumb if you like. And it's all a matter of just trying different locations that'll help work with your body. Like some people like doing it this way. Some people like doing it that way. Some people enjoy circles. I mean, it's all up to you. There's no right or wrong here. All we're trying to do is bring a little bit of relief to those tense, strong muscle fibers here. Our first weird one, spooning. So this is a Chinese soup spoon and literally $2. It's ceramic, not plastic. And I use multiple edges. I use the lip here, which is quite aggressive, and it's less aggressive using this edge. The main technique that I like to follow is just go along the fibers. It's quite nice. I'm not using a lot of pressure. You can see my index finger is giving me all the pressure I need. This is really nice. Now, this is called gua sha. You can find this stuff on eBay. It's like, this is $2. Started to become a little bit cool, like Chinese medicine practitioners would not spend the $50+ that the fancy tools are coming out that you'll find on Amazon and eBay. It's up to you if you want to buy them. Next time you're out getting some ramen, I'm sure you can ask them for their spoon. It's super cheap. I bought this at a homeware shop. I think IKEA don't quote me on this, but they're readily available, and I travel with this heaps. One thing that I want you to know about gua sha. Gua sha promotes blood to come up to the surface, which means that it will create bruising. Let's see if I can do it. You need some oil, on your face for this. Let's see if I can promote any bruising to come up in just a couple of minutes. Now the deal is with gua sha, the bruising that comes up is all cosmetic, so it doesn't actually hurt the way if you injured yourself and bruising comes to the surface and it's inflamed. Blood that comes to the surface and bruising that shows after doing this is indicative of a good treatment. Like something is happening and relief is coming. Like the more bruising that happens, the better the treatment will be. But here's the deal, don't hunt for the bruising. Let's see if I've got, you can see some redness. You see some redness here? And that's blood coming to the surface. Also, the bruising won't stick around for too long, especially on the face. Somehow the body seems to just process that bruising or that blood that comes to the surface quite quickly, but you need to be aware of it. Like, do you want to be walking around with a bruise on your face for half a day?
5 minutes later.
So lucky me, I've got to go with that bruising to the gym now. Honestly, it just looks like I got lipstick on my face now. It's a little embarrassing, but that's what happens if you want to spoon your face.
Here's an interesting story. After uni, because I studied acupuncture, I did hear of one of my classmates that was giving a model cupping and did not tell her that she would bruise. And she had a shoot the next day. I think she sued him, which is odd as well because, I mean, you can just cover up with makeup, and cupping wasn't on the face, it would have been on the body somewhere. But anyways, something to be very aware of when using scraping methods, gua sha. Bruising will come to the surface. Oh, alright. Up there with probably the top 3 most bizarre massage techniques that you'll ever see, that I'll ever see. We're actually going to grab our thumb and shove it in our gob to massage the masseter muscle, but from the inside. This is insane. And the pressure that you can create on the masseter muscle is incredible. The release that you can create is phenomenal. Pause the video, go wash your hands, come back and do this with me. Simple. There's a whole bunch of skin here, and then when you hit the masseter muscle, you feel like you've hit this massive wall of like, it'll be semi-pliable. It almost feel like it's so sturdy and heavy. So thumb in and follow, right, until you hit something hard. And that's the masseter muscle. And all I'm doing is scribing my thumb up the masseter muscle. Don't push too hard to begin with. Take your time. Get to know the structure first before you smash into this muscle. I mean, you're actually not going to be able to smash into it too much because the pain will be quite phenomenal. Yeah. All the way up until you get close to the bone at the top. And then you can hollow the ridge down. So what my fingertips are doing is actually, I'm keeping my fingertips and thumb quite close to each other. So wherever I'm scribing with my thumb, my fingertip is doing the opposite side on the masseter at the front. Oh, alright. God, if you just got to this part of the video without seeing what we talked about earlier, that would be weird to watch. Give it a go. Trust me, when that TMJ issue is just going nuts and like pumping, this sort of technique is going to bring you so much relief. I know, it's totally weird, but it works. Now that I've done the massage part, the fun part, let's get into some theory. And this is really interesting. I think that this is actually more important than the massage side of things, because the masseter muscle or tension in the masseter muscle is very rarely the cause of the problem. Like, I'd say we're looking for the cause of why our TMJ hurts. Like, there's something special about the masseter muscle that seems to hold and store and react to emotions and to foods and to drugs as well, like medication. So I've noticed just recently I've been taking a supplement called Alpha GPC. It's made to help neural connections and make you focus a little bit better. Whenever I take it, I can feel my masseter muscle constricting. Painkillers, I've noticed this too. Loads of medications will cause restriction here. Anger, anxiety, stress. Like, this is something that I 100% guarantee you've noticed before. Whenever you're stressed and that tension's showing up and people are angry, you see the masseter muscle just contracting. It's like, I'm not happy. All this has an effect on your TMJ and can stress that joint. Our job, and this is why we pay practitioners the big bucks. This is why I think massage practitioners or any practitioner is worth their weight in gold. The best of the ones will sit with you and try to determine what is the cause of the problem, because you can massage this muscle till the cows come home, but if you don't deal with the problem and fix why the masseter muscle is tensing up, you're going to be massaging forever. So massage in itself is a nice way to bring relief. And oh my God, when you're in pain, finding a break from pain is so important, but it's not sustainable. We need to find out what's the root cause of why the masseter muscle is tensing up. So that's your job. Like if you've got TMJ issues, definitely massage it, but then also start thinking, what am I doing with my lifestyle that's causing this to inflame? And I mean, it could be so many different things. Like we're talking posture, sleep issues, stress, anxiety. We talked about that. Foods, for sure. This muscle blows me away. This and up here are the two places that I find that store emotional stress, like big time. And that's why knowing how to massage the masseter muscle is one of those things that you really want to have in your toolkit, not just for yourself, but for your family too, because we can easily work on this at home and it brings so much relief. You guys, my jaw feels great right now. It's kind of nice. Yo, hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, subscribe. I'll see you in the next tutorial.